My name is Jillian Perrick, and I'm a lover of all things orange chocolate. Think One Tree Hill is way better than the OC. And as a person who stutters, I hope to one day inspire women with invisible disabilities to overcome their limiting beliefs and start the business of their dreams, just like I did. I'm a mindset coach specializing in imposter syndrome, helping women beat their inner imposter using neurolinguistic programming, hypnosis, and time techniques. And this is the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. This podcast is for you if you're an entrepreneurial woman trying to navigate the online space with a lot of passion and a lot of uncertainty. If you feel like your ideas are unoriginal, that your message isn't necessary or important, or like you're a complete and total fraud, then you've come to the right place. This podcast will take you from imposter to empowered with ninja-like brain hacks, easy to implement strategies, and uplifting real talk to make you feel like everything you want is in reach. Let's get started, girlfriend. Hello, and welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast with me, your host, Jill. And if you haven't gotten the From Imposter to Empowered course yet, what are you doing? I just did a launch for it, and this is my signature imposter syndrome course. If you are somebody who has really been struggling, but you're not quite ready yet to work with a coach, you're not ready to make that investment, I have made a low ticket course for you to dig your hands in and get all my high level tools such as NLP, the rejection template, all of this amazing stuff. And it's basically my 10-step signature methodology and how I help my clients through their own experiences with imposter syndrome and all the things that make them not feel good enough. And we do a ton of subconscious work, and it really is amazing. And because I love my loyal listeners, I am giving you guys 15% off the course if you use FITE podcast at the link in my show notes to buy the course. Again, you will get 15% off when you use FITE podcast. And I will put the coupon code in the show notes as well. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. It is kind of cloudy today. I've had some sun, luckily, here in Ontario, Canada, and it's been pretty nice. Things are starting to get into June, so I'm recording this on a Sunday in May, near the end of the month. Can't believe that it's the end of May and almost June now. We're still in quarantine, obviously. Corona is still out there, and it's still widely affecting people. And if you are somebody who has been affected, I'm thinking of you. And if you are healthy, I'm thinking of you as well, and hope that you stay healthy. So today's episode, we are going to talk about, this one's a good one. We're going to talk about the judgment of others. And for my clients and the people who religiously listen to this podcast, who actually work with me or know me, you already know what I'm going to say. But something that I get often in terms of questions are, how do you deal with the judgment from friends and family? Or I'm really afraid to put myself out there because I'm afraid of being rejected and I'm afraid of judgment. It's a really real fear, especially when it comes to the online space, because putting yourself out there technically means like selling or saying that you are doing something, committing to something, and somebody having an opinion about it. It's not so much that we're worried about their opinion. Now, here it comes. Here's the thing that everybody hears all the time from me, and that is, you're not afraid of somebody else's opinion. You're afraid of how you're going to feel when you know their opinion. So you're not afraid of what people think about you, okay? You're not. You're afraid of what you will feel or how you will think about yourself when you know what they think or how they feel about you. So I put up a post on Instagram. I am outing my dad right now so bad, so I hope he doesn't listen to this. I put on Instagram a post of my income from coaching last year and then my projected income. So I made about $12,000 in 2019 in total, and I surpassed that easily within I think it was almost February, and I had already made it or was about to make it. And I am now projected to hit six figures this year, which is a huge jump from $12,000 to six figures. And I put up like a little screenshot from my notes, and it was a post about like the possibility of what you can accomplish, something like that. And my dad called me and he was like, why would you do that? Like, you don't want someone to think that you're bragging or whatever. Anyways, Of course, I already knew logically that this was just my dad keeping me safe. I knew that it was just him projecting onto me his own beliefs about money. But after the phone call, I was really hurt. I was really upset because I felt like it had put me back a bit. But after I had a conversation with my coach and I just calmed down a bit, I obviously could see the bigger picture in terms of, like, again, he was just trying to keep me safe. But the reason why that affected me was because I really respect my father. I love my dad. He's the best. And he has his own belief system and how he was raised and everything. So I have to respect that. But I also care about his opinion about me. And that is because I care about what he thinks about me. And if he thinks negatively about me, then I feel like there's something for me to worry about or to be like ashamed about, because I would never want to disrespect or upset my father because I love him. And I think this is where a lot of people get stuck, is they're like, yeah, like I don't really give a shit about the people who are like randos on Instagram. I don't really care about that. I care about the fact that like my friend from high school is going to see it and like make fun of me, and or my dad or my mom or my aunt are going to be like, what is she doing on her Instagram? What is little Sharon doing on her Instagram there? Is she trying to sell something? That's so cute. So basically, again, it's because like we think it means something about ourselves when somebody judges us. But when someone shares their judgment around something that you're doing, they're doing one of two things: protecting you or projecting onto you. But these things have something in common. You are the only person who gets to choose the impact that it has on you. And that doesn't say that you can't react emotionally. That doesn't say that you can't have the thoughts of, oh my God, like, are they right? What am I doing? Feel the feelings, feel into it, and realize that it's all just part of the human experience. But again, it's never about ignoring or negating your feelings or emotions. It's always about the behavior that follows and ensuring that it's not self-sabotaging behavior. If I would have gone onto my Instagram and deleted that post after I had that conversation with my dad, if I would have never shared about my income ever again, or if I would have been afraid to talk about money or afraid to talk about my coaching business on my Instagram, if I would have been like, oh, I feel really shitty right now, I'm not going to show up like I told my audience I would, that would be self-sabotaging because of the thoughts that I was having. But instead, I honored the fact that I was feeling this way. I honored the fact that I was a human. I had a conversation with somebody to just flush it out, and then I moved on. So again, I actually use my signature methodology whenever I move through anything, and that includes doing a forgiveness ritual in terms of like forgiving the person and forgiving myself whenever something happens that I really have a strong emotional reaction to. And that's what I did, and then I moved on from it. And I didn't let it sabotage whatever I was doing. So if you're censoring your content because of somebody who is never going to buy from you, at worst, they'll have an opinion, which you can't control, but you can control how you respond. And let me guess, your dad's probably not going to buy from you. Your sister's probably not going to buy from you. Obviously, it depends on what services you're selling. But if you're a coach or doing whatever, in terms of a service-based job, depending on who your ideal market is, I'm guessing it's not Aunt Sharon. But at the end of the day, you know exactly what I'm saying. If somebody is not going to buy from you, then why would you care about their opinion? And when I say why would you care, I mean, why would you let it affect you? It doesn't mean that you cannot have the feelings and have the thoughts. It just means that your behavior afterwards should not reflect the incident that just occurred. You are allowed to have the feelings. You are allowed to be like, wow, that really sucked that I heard that person talking about me, or that really sucked that my mom called me and told me that I shouldn't be putting that on Instagram. Oh my God, when I was in the beginning of my business, I was putting, so as you guys know, I love to swear. It really drives my point home, you know what I mean? So when I was putting stuff on Instagram, my dad would call me every single time, bless his heart, father, and he would give me shit for swearing. He would be like, you shouldn't be saying that, no one's gonna want to hire you, blah blah blah. And I would take it really personally, and I would like cry, and I would be like, what am I doing? And I would just like censor everything. But that wasn't who I was. And at the end of the day, I wasn't hurting anybody. And the type of people who I work with anyways are okay with swearing, and they hire me because they like me and they like who I am, and they don't mind that I swear, and it's just a part of how I speak at this point. I think I swear appropriately, meaning that I know my audience, but at the same time, on my own Instagram page and within my own content, like the confines of this podcast, I'm going to swear. I'm going to express myself however I need to, because I know that somebody needs to hear it, and that's what you need to think of as well, is somebody needs to hear your message. And if you are afraid of the judgment from other people, I want you to look inwards and realize that that judgment is actually judgment coming from you, because the only reason why we would care about what somebody says about us is because we're afraid that it's true. So let's say somebody came up to me and was like, you hate dogs. You hate dogs. I'd be like, okay. That wouldn't affect me because I fucking love dogs. I love dogs so much. I treat dogs great. Like, there is nothing in me that doesn't like a dog. And I think you're a psycho if you don't like dogs, by the way. But this is what I mean, because I'm not affected by that statement because I know in my heart that it's not true. But if somebody were to come up to me and be like, your stutter makes you sound really stupid, that would probably hurt my feelings, because that is something that I've thought about myself. And even if you've done work around a belief about yourself, sometimes when somebody brings it to light, which happens really rarely, but when it does, it can still feel kind of painful, because we all have those roots in which those beliefs have formed. And regardless, the reason why you're so afraid of somebody judging you, especially in the beginning, is because you're afraid that their judgments are right. You're afraid if your high school friend says, who does she think she is trying to do this coaching business? Like, I thought she was a huge bitch in high school, something like that. You're afraid that, like, oh, am I a bitch? Like, am I a good person? Should I really be coaching others? That's where it comes from. Your internal state is a reflection of everything that is going on outside of you. And it doesn't matter if somebody comes to you and says something that you know is completely untrue. That's not going to affect you. But if somebody comes to you and says something that you fear yourself, that is when it's going to affect you. And that is why it's so important to do the work. It's so important to look inside yourself and look at those demons, at those beliefs about yourself that you hold, which From Imposter to Empowered, the course does all of that for you and helps you release it, just saying. And it's so important to do this work, because when you do that, then nobody can hurt you, because you've looked at it yourself. You've taken the power away from somebody when you are acknowledging the things that you want to improve on. Literally, the bravest people are the people that come to me and want my help as a coach. Like, those are the bravest people ever to me, because they're acknowledging that they need help with their mental state, with their thoughts, with helping overcome those feelings of feeling like a fraud and feeling like an imposter and not feeling good enough. Those are the strongest people that I personally know, because they are taking it upon themselves to help change their behavior because they want to be better people. And judgment doesn't fucking mean anything unless you give it meaning, just like everything else. So again, you're not afraid of what somebody thinks about you. You're afraid of how you'll feel when you know what they think. And the way to combat that is to look inside yourself at all the reasons as to why you don't feel good enough, or why you judge yourself or judge others. Release it and forgive yourself and forgive others. And again, if you're looking for a little signature methodology, if you're a very logical, thought out person and you need like a roadmap for doing this, From Imposter to Empowered, the course is at the link in my show notes. And again, you can use FITE podcast for 15% off. So I hope you guys love this episode on judgment of others, and I will see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast with me, Jillian Perrick. If you loved this episode, take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram story. And don't forget to tag me at Your Coach Jill. Of course, I'd love for you to rate the podcast 5 stars and leave a review. And if you screenshot your review and send it to me at Your Coach Jill on Instagram, I'll send you a free gift. At the very least, make sure you follow me on Instagram, again at Your Coach Jill, for tons of free content, strategies, and inspo. See you next time.